Yes, Counselor Nolan. They waved hello. Counselor Rosenthal.
Present.
Counselor Lewis. Counselor Wong should be here shortly, as should Counselor Gonzalez. Counselor Simpson is excused, and Council President Peterson.
All right. We will move on to public communication with agenda items. This is from the audience. Our procedures for non-agenda item communication.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. If anyone wishes to testify on non-agenda items, now is the time to do so. Public testimony will be limited to 3 minutes. I will manage the timer to go off at the 3-minute mark. If you have not already signed up to speak, you can do so now. If you are joining us on Zoom, you can sign up to testify by raising your hand on Zoom. Depending on your version of Zoom, the raise hand function has its own tab or is located within the reactions tab. Those calling in can raise their hands by dialing *9. If you are joining us in person, you can sign up by filling out one of the blue cards in the back of the room and bringing it up to me. For those joining us on Zoom, I will promote you to a full panelist when it is your turn to testify. I will call in your name or phone number when it is your turn to testify, and a window will appear asking you to accept being promoted to a panelist. Once you click accept, your Zoom window will close for just a brief moment before you rejoin as a panelist, where you will be able to turn on your camera if you like. As a reminder, you do not need to give your physical address. However, please introduce yourself for the record before testifying. We have one person who has signed up to testify, and they should be entering the room shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. It'll just be 1 minute. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, Marianne, you can choose which.
And I'm going to talk 9 miles an hour. Good morning. My name is Marianne Schwab, and I'm on the sunny side. Marianne, can I ask you to make sure that you're welcome, and may I ask you to make sure that you're mic'd, Marianne? Thank you. Can we make sure that you're mic'd so that we can pick you up? Yep, for the record. Much appreciated. Thank you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Not sure how this thing works. I'm going to do the best I can to hear. My name is Marianne Schwab. I live in the Sunnyside neighborhood. I've been very active in many, many committees. And the last time I was here in 23, when I learned that you were going to be spending $5 billion in the next few years. With that bit of information, I shared it with City Council, and I begged them to have one of their staff members attend every one of your planning sessions so we could connect. My function today is trying to connect the isolation of this program, Multnomah County program, the parks, the zoo, whatever. So let me start with something close to my heart since Jimmy Carter was elected President of the United States. The Washington High School Community Center has been on hold pending resources. And I worked on that committee months and months. I took my information to the archives, they've disappeared. The good news is that you will be getting information, everything I'm discussing today, after the meeting. Went to the archives, the city archives found 111 pages documenting how we wanted to place that property. At the same time, Parks gave us $750,000, again representing Sunnyside, with Lorhurst Park. Lorhurst Park has never been finished. We had a fly-by-night city commissioner who took $750,000, as we were told we could spend, to finish the plans. They're not finished, people. They are not finished. There's supposed to be a water track all the way down to the west end of the park, where the duck pond is, and they removed the kitchen where everyone in your building here could come and celebrate summer. But they removed it. We wanted to move it up closer to the children's playground park. But that is my reason, and I'm 81 now, and I may never be able to jump in that pool. But Lorhurst Park needs to be finished. And you do have parks. We had a wonderful letter coming to our house. And we do connect with parks. We could work in conjunction with each other to make these goals. The fact that Mr. Penguin here, we have a little advice from him, divine into life. Find warmth and friends among you. Appreciate snow days, take long walks, stand together, and go that extra mile. Keep your cool. The hardest part for me is keeping my cool on this subject. So also with parks, we have the bees that are in challenge. Within 4 years, we will have no bees. I'm submitting information on this. There's a man in Washington, D.C. that won't even touch the subject until 26. What they're putting in our ground and they're planting food for our vegetables, whatever, is harming human beings. And also, when you read this, you'll be surprised what it does to unborn babies. The other thing I want to talk to you about was the disconnect between TriMet. You're coming in or building all of these shopping centers, etc. But TriMet is kind of sitting out there on the side. I've been out to Mall 205 on more than one occasion for 3 years now. I've been trying to get TriMet to put a bus shelter there so that the tunneling draft coming down from Timberline is freezing. They have a bench there. It's a garbage unit. People eat and run and throw their trash, not just there, but all through the city. There's no pride in our city. And I would like this agency to also ask TriMet for assistance. I have the name of the company back east and their history, and it's going to take somebody a lot more power than Marianne Schwab to get a bus shelter there. So that's my
thank you for coming
documentation. And what again, going back to the city archives, your staff here has helped me tremendously. She will send you the library link. It's not the library. That's where I got lost a lot of time for them and for me. Found out it was in the city archives. When I put my notes in the city archives, they were lost. So when I testified just this year asking city council, I only need 3 votes out of 5 with this antiquated Jim Crow Commission Form of Government to put this swimming pool number 1 when they go to the voters for another to use our taxes.
Marianne, thank you so much. You have provided a lot of information, and we will follow up with the appropriate jurisdiction. And when you testify like this, you are putting it into the record. So I hope that we can archive it here for you. So thank you so much.
And thank you for listening.
No, thank you. And don't forget the penguin.
Let's talk to each other. We need to have meetings between Metro.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
And not just Metro, And I won't even start on the homeless. I'm a block south of Lawhurst Playground
Marianne,
Park.
thank you.
I won't stop. Thank you.
Thank you.
And at 81, I don't think I'm coming back.
Oh, well, we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Yes, Marianne, thank you so much. We have no other people who have signed up to testify in advance.
And a very handsome penguin. Don't forget.
The folks in the back could do an audio check. It sounds a little echoey up front.
I'm sorry. What do you need, Counselor?
I don't need anything, but my audio had gotten
Oh, okay.
reverb, and I was suggesting she remember the penguin.
Thank you. Okay. We will see no one coming forward and no one on Zoom with their hand raised. We will move on to the consent agenda and we'll close testimony on non-agenda items communication and move on to the consent agenda. We have one item on our consent agenda today, and it's resolution number 24-5446 for the purpose of Supportive Housing Services Regional Oversight Committee reappointments. Do I hear a motion for resolution 24-5446?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Lewis and seconded by Councillor Rosenthal. All those in favor say aye.
I
All those opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to resolutions. Resolution number 24-5453 for the purpose of adopting the 2025 state legislative agenda. Councilors, throughout the fall, our state legislative affairs team incorporated council feedback and refined our legislative priorities and principles in advance of the 2025 legislative session. Last month, we reviewed these guiding documents in preparation of the upcoming session, and today we have Annalisa Curler and our new state affairs advisor, Young Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Metro Council. Good morning. My name is Annalisa Curler, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am your Legislative Affairs Manager. And I'm really excited to introduce on his fourth day here at Metro, our new State Affairs Advisor. I'm going to give him a few minutes just to tell you a little bit about himself before we dive into today's presentation.
Thank you. Council, it's good to see you. My name is Keon Park. I use he, him pronouns, and I am your new State Affairs Advisor. I've had the pleasure to actually be your contracted lobbyist this last session, so it really was a no-brainer when the opening came up on this team to really go after it. I feel like the interactions I've had with many folks and staff in Metro was really aligned with what I believe in and stuff, so it was a very easy decision to go after this opportunity, and I'm really grateful to be given the chance to work with this team and represent Metro moving forward in the building.
Thank you. Welcome.
Mm-hmm. If you can advance the next slide for me. So just a reminder to kick things off, we are holding our second annual legislative breakfast on January 7th in the morning at the Oregon Zoo. Last year was the first time in a very, very long time that Metro had a legislative breakfast, and we heard from all parties involved, including legislators, that it was incredibly helpful and very successful. So we are bringing it back and just want to make sure that we highlight that for you all. Next slide. So today we are here before you for the adoption of your 2025 state legislative agenda. We have been before you 3 times. This is now the 4th time for the final adoption. And your legislative agenda is composed of 2 documents. The first are legislative priorities, and those are really session-specific priorities that we really know are coming in this moment. It is, I want to be clear, a snapshot in time. There are additional items that we know will probably end up on our legislative priorities, because we don't know about them yet, or we are, still in active conversations about adding them to our priorities. Next slide, please. In your packet is the full list of priorities, but here they are at the topical level on your screen. So There are priorities around industrial site readiness and brownfields, regulating firearms on Metro's properties. There are a series of housing and homelessness priorities, as well as land use priorities. We have a priority around recreational immunity, the 2025 transportation package, as well as a number of solid waste and recycling priorities. Next slide, please. The other half of your legislative agenda are legislative principles. So these are meant to be your evergreen guiding principles that we really rely on during session to help guide us in how or when we might weigh in on legislation that pops up. Those are divided into two types of categories. One are really general and overarching in their nature, and the other are specific principles. Next slide. To go over them at a high level, for general principles, you have principles around successful communities, racial diversity, equity, and inclusion, tribal sovereignty, climate justice, vibrant, sustainable workforce and economy, preemption, and adequate resources and funding. Next slide. And then there are a series of specific principles that are laid out in the following buckets around housing, land use and growth management, solid waste, transportation, parks, nature and conservation, and cultural and economic vitality. And you will recall that this year we did do a heavy rewrite of these principles and worked closely with all of you to really update those and make sure that they are reflective of Metro's current work and current guiding values. And next slide. So with that concludes our very brief presentation, and we are here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Counselors, any questions? We have seen this in many iterations, and I very much appreciate the growth of the document. I don't see any hands raised. Is that true? I just want to test my technology here. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Since there's no questions for council, do I have a motion for resolution number 24-5453 for the purpose of adopting the 2025 state legislative agenda?
I move
adoption.
proposed statewide agenda. Legislative agenda.
Thank you. Councilor Nolan, will you second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilor Rosenthal, seconded by Councilor Nolan. Any further discussion? Okay, thank you. Georgia, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Lewis?
Aye.
Councilor Long?
Aye.
Councilor Rosenthal?
Aye.
Councilor Nolan?
Yes.
Councilor Gonzalez?
Aye.
And Council President Person.
Aye, thank you. The motion passes. Thank you. We look forward to working with you on the other side of this year. All right, we'll move on to our ordinances, second reading and vote. We have ordinance number 24-1523 for the purpose of amending Title VI of the Urban Growth Management Functional Plan to require local adoption of boundaries for centers on the 2040 Growth Concept Map. Today we are considering the changes to our Urban Growth Management Functional Plan that are required by state law. We held a first reading and public hearing on December 12th, 2024, and we did not receive any public comment at that hearing. Glenn Hamburg, our senior regional planner, is here to help answer any questions about the ordinance before we vote, if we have any. Councilors, any questions for Glenn? Seeing none in real time and none online. Do I have a motion?
I apologize for interrupting. I just want to interject and say the Office of Metro Attorney followed up and for a plain language review, and we did substitute in the Exhibit A, changing the shalls to musts consistent with our plain language requirements. So just wanted to note that for the record and for council.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for following up on that.
I'll move ordinance 24-1523.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilor Lewis has made the motion and Councilor Wong has seconded. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, Georgia, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Rosenthal?
Aye.
Councilor Wong?
Aye.
Councilor Lewis?
Aye.
Councilor Nolan?
Yes.
Councilor Gonzalez?
Aye.
and Council President Peterson.
Aye. Thank you. The motion passes. All right. Thank you, Glenn. All right, we'll move on to Chief Operating Officer Communication. Another quick agenda. Thank you.
It was super speedy. Good morning, counselors. Just a couple updates today. One, just a note that departments are brushing off their inclement weather, our cold inclement weather procedures and policies in anticipation of, well, not this week because it's been very warm, but at some point we're going to get colder weather. And so just a reminder that that work is ongoing, and we're making sure we are ready for whatever comes our way. And then you'll recall that in our response to the auditor on the WPES transfer station audit, we had committed to doing a kind of metro-wide look at safety and risk. That work is ongoing, but there is a survey out that closes today on safety and emergency preparedness that went out to all staff. To managers and supervisors. And so today is the last day to respond, and hoping that we can get as many people filling that out as possible so we get as clear as possible a picture of how people are feeling about safety and risk here at Metro. So just an update on that, and look forward to sharing the results of that with you.
Thank you. Thanks. Counselors, any communications? Counselor Lewis.
Sure, Council President Peterson, thank you. Since Councilor Gonzalez is maybe on the phone, I wanted to report back that this morning was JPAC, and we had quite a full agenda. I think it is important to report back that we had 2 items of testimony from SMART and Wilsonville, reiterating their position and some of the statements that they sent to our federal regulators. I also wanted to report back that the conversation about our REFA and bonding proposals was quite robust. So it was a good meeting. Council President Peterson, I think maybe Juan Carlos can add more. That's what I have.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Gonzalez.
Hi there. Yeah, I think Councilor Lewis covered it well. I won't add anything else. But yeah, the last meeting of the year celebrated Commissioner Stegman and Mayor Callaway in their last meetings as JPAC members, and definitely some conversations to follow up with y'all after the meeting. So thank you.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Anybody else? Councilor Rosenthal? Okay. Great. Thank you. Nothing to add to the conversation. So seeing no other hands raised, the council meeting is adjourned and this is the last one for 2024. And I hope to see everybody on the other side in January.